Well, hello and a very warm welcome to one and all joining us from different parts of the world tonight. I am Lion Avdeep Nigam, the second Club Vice President for Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, and your host for this momentous 231st episode of the Masterclass series, The Soul of Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, The Soul of Lions has been a fantastic show running since last 4.5 years, bringing to you the best lion leaders from around the world. And it has had the support of our lovely sponsors, the ones which actually make us in the state where we actually get the show to you and propagate such amazing amount of knowledge with regards to Lionism and life. The Soul of Lions is brought to you by Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, Leo Club of Mumbai Soul, and Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam. Powered by Property Anthem India Private Limited and Khanvale Resort Silvassa. Also, ably supported by our partners, the Green Exim, the International Agro Export Corporation, the Property Anthem India Private Limited organization, and also the Cretex Corporate Services Limited. Well, with the support of all our lovely sponsors and the guidance of our mentor and Dr. Raju Manwani, we are here with yet another enthralling episode of The Soul of Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, after the extraordinary January 2025 series, it is time for us to move on to the fabulous February ensemble, where we have with us today a lion who has been an incredible source of inspiration and has conducted himself in the utmost lionistic distinction and fantastic diligence during his entire tenure with the lionistic fraternity. His lionism journey began way back in 1986 as a member of the Madras Sterling Avenue Lions Club. He went on to hold numerous significant integral positions within the organization, out of which some of the standouts were the district governorship, the multiple district leadership development chairperson, the trainer and faculty member of the All India DG and VDG school programs. And owed to such substantial contributions to Lionism, he was finally elected to serve a 2-year term as the director of the Lions Clubs International at the 97th International Convention held in Toronto, Canada from July 4th to 8th, 2014. Well, in recognition of his service to the association, he has also received numerous awards, including the 35-member Key Award, the Friend of Humanity Award, the 11 Extension Awards, and 4 International Presidential Certificates of Appreciation. He's also a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. In addition to his lionistic activities, he's also active in numerous professional and community-based organizations, including the Freemasons, the Cosmopolitan Club, and the All India Transporters Welfare Association. While all of the above is potent enough, he's also professionally accentuated himself to be a successful businessman in life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute privilege for me to call upon the highly dedicated lion, serving society with all his might, International Director 2014 and 16, Lion N.S. Shankar sir.
My director, welcome to you in episode number 231. I am so sorry I had to travel all the way to Baroda suddenly because of somebody expired here, one of my colleague governor's father. So I'm so sorry I'm in the car, but I'm sure that Navdeep Nigam will be definitely taking care of you. I'll try to join you once I reach to the destination.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Raju. Yeah. Good evening, Navdeep.
Good evening, sir. It's fantastic to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking our time and coming and joining us for the show tonight, sir. Thank you so much. Shankar sir, we would like to start off this particular show with just getting to know the director session. It's a section that we always try to have. Obviously, people who have been international directors, people who have been district governors, they have an aura within the organization. The fraternity has a lot of respect towards them. But I believe one of the major sources of inspirations that they provide to people is that, if they can make it, all the others can also aspire to someday be directors and governors. So we would love to start, this talk session with by knowing a little bit about you. So I would love for you to tell our viewers a little about yourself, where you come from, where did you grow up, and finally, how did you end up joining Lionism?
No, I did my college in Salem, a Mopsil town of Tamil Nadu. As soon as I finished my college degree, I joined the first offer that came into my way, a transport organization, where I joined as a junior executive. And I climbed up the stairs, for 13 years in different companies. Finally, I came to Chennai in 1981. And in 1986, I joined Lions Movement once I established myself reasonably well in Chennai city. And the very purpose of my joining Lions Movement at the time was to participate in the meetings, to hear the inspirational addresses by speakers from various fields, to get inspired by them. That was my only motive when I joined Lions Movement in 1986. The initial years, maybe first few years, I was wandering more into the administrative side of the Lions Movement, the district governor, its activities, and the way the structure was built up. I was more into it, more fascinated by that. But only after I became a region chairperson or after I became a district cabinet secretary, the service activities started inspiring me thereafter. Of course, when I became the district governor in 2004, I did more of service activities throughout that year. Not only that year, even previous years, subsequent years continuously. Then now I am more inspired by Lion service activities than by anything else. Of course, I basically I believe in good administration and complying with the law of the land. So basically, I'm good at that. But still, I'm more inspired now by because of maybe my age. I'm more inspired by the service activities.
Fabulous. I think every one of us when we join. Yeah, can carry on, sir. Go on.
Yeah, initially as a transport organization, as a transport operator, I was sending a lot of disaster relief materials to various places, whether it is Gujarat earthquake or Andhra floods or Andhra cyclone, Tamil Nadu cyclone. I was more into it, sending Orissa floods. I used to send my trucks free of cost to carry materials collected by various organizations, sending it to the destination. That was my initial service activity. Of course, later on, I developed other activities also. During my governorship, there were three areas where I operated very well, extremely well. I was noticed by people. The government, others, outsiders, and we had around 25 big hoardings in important places in Chennai city, right from the airport to the central place and all, giving out the service activity what we do. That way, I was noticed by the government, other people, social organization and all. I said I carried out three important service activities. We have selected 10 schools as Lions Golden School program from out of corporation schools. We made them, we constructed bathrooms, we constructed the open air auditorium, we constructed a laboratory for them, and provided all these structures with a cost of around 20 lakhs for 10 schools. You can just imagine how much of money you would have spent. In 2004, we collected this money only from the public because of my advertisement campaign. Secondly, what we did was, as a transport operator, again, that has come to my mind, we have collected waste materials from various households all over the Chennai city. There were even at the time 5,000 line members were there in Chennai city. We sent 40 trucks to various places, collected waste materials and refurbished them, reworked on them, and delivered as wealthy materials to poor people. So that was another job we did. And the third job was more attractive. One of the members was a doctor. He's a cardiothoracic surgeon working in government hospital. With his help, we carried out 100 correction surgeries in the year 2004 and 5. It was really a record even for the government. And this doctor was called by the then Minister for Health and appreciated for his noble service. Both our club as well as this doctor. So that was one of the wonderful services we carried out.
So lovely. I think it's yeah. I think I would just like to intervene there and firstly compliment you for the work that has been done. Obviously all of us have this journey very similar to what you have. Initially we joined the organization for different alternate purposes, and then ultimately we get, if I may say so, lured into the concept of service, especially when we see the amount of impact it is making amongst people. But before we get to that in detail, sir, because we have the entire episode where we are going to talk about all of that. Initially, I would just like for you to also give our viewers a little view about how were the initial days of Lionism when you joined. So you joined in 1986, which is almost 4 decades ago. Lionism was all analog during that point of time. Digitization pretty much came after 2 decades of you
Yeah.
into the system. And post the digitization age, you obviously took over as the international director. So tell our viewers a little perspective on your own individual basis with regards to how you have seen Lionism evolve in these last 4 decades.
It was certainly, I was a secretary within 4 years of my joining Lions Movement, a club secretary. We had around 42 members in our club, and in there were 2 meetings in a month and one board meeting, and we always have a speaker in our meetings. So sending the circular is always by courier only, by post. So we have to prepare the covers, addresses, everything. I mean, you have to handwrite, and call everybody over this dialing the telephones. Whereas it has become so simple now with WhatsApp message. You have a form a group, you have sent one click, every message goes and reaches them. So that is what we have come across all these. I mean, in these 35 years of time. I mean, certainly it is a big improvement. And payments, collecting payments, we used to go to their houses, collect payment, collect checks, deposit in banks. I mean, so that's something distant past. Now it looks like distant past what we have gone through now these days. I mean,
Absolutely. I think it has been a major change, and I believe a very welcome change also within the organization. We'll go
yes.
one by one, sir. I would love to ask you initially about your exploits at the club level. A lot of people, when they become international directors, retrospection gets a little difficult because so many responsibilities come over you, and obviously you're catering to a very large group of people when you become an international director. But before going there, I would love to understand from you how were your club you know uh, club days, and how you took up leadership positions at the club level, and post at the district level, and how both of these together helped you when you when you finally became the international director.
Yes. Club level, as I said earlier, I became the treasurer, then secretary, then vice president, then only I became the president after 6 years. And there it was really demanding, but I wanted this. Somehow I had a fascination for becoming a social worker. So I wanted this, I loved this job. So I loved the responsibility what I am taking. It took enormous time. Actually, when you want to become a line member, I used to tell now people, are you prepared to spend time for you? Money is only secondary. Are you prepared to spend at least 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day? I mean, if you want to go at least 2 hours a day, if you don't give that time, there is no point in becoming assuming any leadership position in Lions movement, because this time is the real demand for any position in Lions movement. Number one. Then subsequently, when I moved to the district, I used to take extra time again from 1 hour to 2 hours. It has now become 4 hours a day. Maybe I used to adjust my office timing in such a way that I attend office also. I used to do and the evening meetings. So it has to be a combination of your profession, your family, and Lions movement. I managed in such a way that I was not founding to be wanting in any sphere. In all the three areas, I used to be there in the provision as I used to be in Lions movement. So there was no problem. See, as you know well, only those who do more jobs, they will have no difficulty in finding time. Only those who don't do any job, they will always have difficulty in finding time. I belong to the first category. Somehow I was able to manage to devote my time for all the three years.
I think very beautifully put, sir. I think all of us who are lions and who are very dedicated towards lionism, I believe it's extremely important. And I think you've addressed the elephant in the room also. A lot of people join the organization just thinking that it's a social organization, so probably we might just give money and there all be done. But I believe that's fantastic coming from an international director like yourself. That there is a need to devote time. It is not going to be happening only on the basis of money. And I believe that is a reality that all the lions in the system today also need to realize. Moving on, sir. Becoming an international director, firstly, congratulations on that. It's a massively important and integral post. When you became the international director, sir, it must have been a post wherein you must have had your own plans, some way or the approach that you were going to be having for yourself, your constitutional area, because obviously it has a lot of responsibilities. What I wanted to ask you specifically, sir, is during your international directorship, did you deploy any sort of mechanism or strategy through which you could reach out to more people? And if there were some very potent suggestions coming from them, you could take it up to the top management at the Lions International Forum, where you had easy access, being an international director.
Yes, very important. I was serving the membership division as international director for both the years. The second year, I became the vice chairman of the division of the committee. So I used to focus more on the membership, particularly not only in India, I mean, Isami area. I used to look at other areas like USA, South America, Canada, why they are unable to grow in Europe, Australia, and other places, Africa, and all. So one of the suggestions what I gave was, if you want to have more members from Africa, you will have to create more multiple districts and more districts. That idea was not accepted at that time, but subsequently, in 2 years later, the idea was accepted. They made at least more bifurcation of multiple districts so that there will be some more members. They have made it a separate constitutional area. Africa itself has become a constitutional area now. The seed for this was, I mean, actually done by me. Otherwise, it would not have come. Secondly, I also pointed out to our executive officers, what should we do in USA to grow more members? Most of them are very old. Most of them are 90 years old club, 75 years old club, 100 years old clubs. I mean, most of them. So they will have very less number of members, one or two members, three members, five members clubs are there. Many districts do not have even this 1,500 members, and there is no competition to become district governors there. So nobody is willing to take up the positions. There are more districts in USA, but unfortunately there are no people who are not interested to take up positions. So I suggested to them, in USA they should take non-Americans as line members, like Indians, Asians, I mean Japanese, Chinese, Nepalese. The idea was not accepted at that time. But subsequent year, when Sanjay Ketan has become the committee member of the same division, he said he will bring more Nepalis to our association from America and other places. It was accepted, and they started these clubs. So ethnic, we call it ethnic clubs at that time. Somehow they didn't promote it well. Otherwise, America should have more members than even our Isami. Unfortunately, they didn't follow it up. This was our challenge, to grow America from what its membership strength and what it is today and what it was earlier. And they had once around 5 lakh members. Today they are less than 250,000 members. So probably had they listened to our proposals carefully, they would have also touched more than, they would have still remained at 5 lakh members. Our association, this 15 lakh membership would not have been a big issue now. This is what I have opinion now.
100%. I think that's a very eye-opening statement. That's fantastic to hear from you also. I've got lots of questions. Of course, I'll start off with the membership, which has been your domain. You've obviously catered to it at the international level itself. So I have like a lot of breakdown of certain things that I want to talk to you about. We'll start off with obviously two of the major things that we are talking about right now at the international everywhere. First of them being the retention, which has been a major problem since a long time for the association, and second is obviously this coining of Mission 1.5. How do you look at both these sections when it comes to membership, and what are your perspectives and suggestions for how the Lions International should move forward to cater to both of them?
All of us should, when we take the new members, we should tell the new members what is their obligation as a new member in terms of finance, in terms of their time. when we don't explain to them in detail about these two responsibilities, probably within 1 or 2 years, they become little not so happy with this situation, so they are leaving. Instead, had you told them in advance what is their financial obligation to become a member, unless each one of them today, in today's context, each one of them pay a minimum of 15,000 rupees as their subscription, they will not be able to subscribe for a long time, because our international dues alone, international district multi dues alone will take away around 7,000-8,000 rupees, and another 5,000-6,000 rupees they need for the club to participate in the district cabinet installation, district convention, reunion meet or zone social. They need money. So 12,000-13,000 will go only for this. For club meeting, who will pay again? So unless anything between 12 to 15,000 we fix up, and it is not possible for them to sustain a club. This is one aspect. Second is the time also they should give. Whenever we give them any responsibility, the new members should come forward to accept it, to become a board member, to become a treasurer, to become a secretary, or to become a president. I mean, within the club also they should take up some work. Only when these two responsibilities are accepted by them, then if you make them a member of Lions Club, they will continue forever. Otherwise, they will all leave within 1 year or 2 years. This is the problem what we face. Not only in India, but everywhere. This is the biggest problem we face now. And nowadays the young boys and girls, somehow they don't find time for this social activity. Maybe they would like to have a different kind of social activity among themselves, and most of them are willing to meet only through Zoom meetings. They don't want to come and attend a meeting physically. These are all the issues we must be able to overcome now. Instead of meeting physical, instead of fixing up physical meetings, we should fix up Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, so that anybody, wherever he goes, he can still attend. We saw just Raju go in his car still attending a meeting. I mean, this is the only way. So that is second aspect. And third aspect is we should make them involved in service activity. Whatever service activity a club does or a district does, unless we involve them, then they will not be very, very happy to continue. These three things are very important for the growth of membership. Without this, though we may bring in more members, there used to be a proverb in Madhya Pradesh and other places in 67, 70s, MLAs will come and join Ayaram, Gayaram, from one party to another party, they will keep on moving like that. So this also, the members will keep coming and going out. This is a repetition of these things keep on happening with us. So maybe initially it may be set back for 1 year. Thereafter, it will get settled. Over a period of time, it will get settled. Only those people who have got that resources with them, both in terms of finance and time, they will only join us. Then there will not be any big drops. This is my idea. With all this, how to reach 1.5 million is a big question mark. But as our international vice president repeatedly tells everybody, it is our responsibility. All of us should contribute, at least with one member, with our family member, with our with our spouse, with our children, our in-laws. Why we are not doing that? Why we are afraid of bringing our close friends to the organization? This is a big question mark. I mean, so we should search our heart and come out of this. I mean, and see that our own close friends, close relatives, our in-laws, our own children become members of Lions Movement. Once we do that, we will definitely cross 1.5 million mark. There is no doubt.
Absolutely, I think that's a very valid point, sir. Every Lion's responsibility. Of course, that's a very, very important quotient, and definitely, as you mentioned, the three main points through which every member who joins Lionism should be groomed. Moving on, some follow-up questions, of course, on this particular membership aspect that you mentioned, sir. One of the very potent challenges that we are actually kind of facing in today's day and age when it comes to membership is the demographic. The changing demographic of population around the world has been, or rather has become, a major challenge for a lot of clubs around the world. Now, the changing demography, if I may talk about it in a little more depth, it has started to affect the clubs. Now, when the when the entire thing starts affecting the clubs, which is basically our organization's foundation, the overall, the overall tree, if I may say so, starts getting affected. Now, how do we, kind of solve this problem, or rather approach, or rather set our strategy towards, kind of dealing with this particular challenge that all of us are facing? Why I say that specifically, sir, is because there is a lot of infusion of young population wanting to join Lionism, but somehow or the other, because of the disconnect that they have in demography, when it comes to already existent clubs, they somehow end up not joining the organization. What is your perspective on this, and how do you think we should tackle this on a big level, sir?
Yeah, I do understand, appreciate the operations of the young people to join an association like this. The best way is to form a club of the same age and somewhere nearer to that age. Then help them from outside. We should allow them to manage their club on their own terms and conditions, not with our imposition of any terms and conditions. They should do it on their own. Then they must come out. They will do it better. They will definitely do it much better because they are more sophisticated in their approach. They are more sophisticated in their thought process, and they have got the wherewithal, resource also with them. A young boy of some 25 years now is minimum salary is earning around some 70,000-80,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupee, any IT guy. But none of them are joining Lions Movement. You can just look at it. It is very sad. All of them should come forward to join this kind of movement and help the society. So
Absolutely,
we should
I
only
think
attract them.
100%. I think that's a very
How do we
valid
attract?
point. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so moving on a little in depth for this question, uh, there are two aspects to this. Obviously, opening up their own club is an option, but when it comes to already existent clubs which have a demography which is probably an average age of 65 to 70, uh, how would those clubs actually survive? Or would you suggest that those clubs shall be, or rather can run the way they have been running for a long time now, and will meet their fate when they want to meet their fate, but at the same time these youngsters can form their own clubs? That can be obviously one scenario. But when it comes to working with the experienced people who have seen Lionism grow from very small areas to now a very, very massive organization, how do you see them both working together in tandem, sir? Is there a scenario where both of them can work in tandem and still keep growing?
I have seen clubs like 75-year-old clubs, 70 years old clubs in Chennai. They are working very well now, even now, because of two reasons. One is they have got permanent projects. They have got permanent projects. So those who have started this permanent project with lot of investment, they ensure that their own children join the same club. Same club. So if a club like Madras Horse Club, they have got around some 50, 60 members, they continue to remain with 50, 60 members with their own, they fill it up with their own children or grandchildren or their own close relatives or their very close friends, their partners in business. They see that they are brought to this and they leave it to the younger people to manage the show, the permanent project. They only contribute money, they only give them advice, but allow these young people to take charge of the permanent project. This way, that continuity is kept. Continuity is kept, and younger people also have the freedom to act whichever way they want to do. Both the way it helps. Both the way it helps. That is one way of doing things. Bring our relatives, friends, very close relatives, or our own children to Lions Movement in our own club. And if each and every club has got a permanent project, it is easy that these clubs will continue to survive. They will somehow they will be managing themselves in such a way that these permanent projects are sustained.
Very interesting, sir. I think a very interesting perspective once again from you. A little more on membership, just one or two more aspects that I believe are important for us to address on membership. Now, you mentioned, obviously the debacle of membership that happened in the United States of America, which is the Constitutional Area 1. And whereas there was a huge infusion of new membership in the constitutional area 6, which is India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, a lot of places like this. Um Now, what I wanted to ask from you is, do you think that a country like the United States, which actually gets some sort of allowances from the government, also encourages the concept of Lionism in in the country? And whereas India, where obviously grants and allowances from the central government or the state government are not that much for the Indians or our constitutional area, do you think that also plays a role with regards to people getting complacent in terms of membership? Or rather, if India or constitutional area 6 kind of constitutional areas who are growing in membership, do you advise them to also liaise or partner with the government organizations to grow more on membership? Because you mentioned yourself that when you had those hoardings in Chennai, 25 to 30 hoardings with regards to what had been achieved and how much impact there was on society, the government automatically approached you, and they said that if there are certain projects or some things that you guys can liaise with, I think that helped you. Do you think that can also help our
Yes.
existing Lions
I,
clubs?
I, I, I will tell you an example. I said, no, we had 5,000 members in Chennai city in 2004 and 5. Today, we bifurcated this district into 3, 4 in Chennai city. Today, our membership strength is around 15,000. In 20 years, we have tripled our Lions population in Chennai city. It is possible, as I said, with advertisement, with publicity, with your own service activities. This helps. This helps to bring in more members. If people see an ad giving what kind of service activity we are doing, they come and join voluntarily. They want to contribute voluntarily. It definitely helps.
Absolutely. And just one more question with regards to membership, sir. Every single organization that exists around the world, and every single member that obviously joins such a social organization, they don't say it out in the open, but everyone would love if they get some of the other incentives from this organization. And those incentives are also extremely noble. You get, if you work really hard in a social organization, you get noticed by great colleges. If you are a working individual and want to go for an MBA, you get noticed by the state governments for awards, you get noticed by the central government for awards, and you get a lot of incentives from the association also. Do you think somewhere we are lacking in terms of highlighting what all Lionism has to offer to people, so that their interest in joining the organization also gets a little more accentuated, sir? Do you think we
I,
should focus on that?
I will give you one example. I don't know, perhaps it not come to your notice or to notice of many of the people here. In 2017 and 18, I was a trustee in LCIF. I was also the secretary of the foundation.
Yeah.
There used to be a scheme for measles program, $1. So one of our PADs, she said, if you give $1, I will also contribute $1. $1 means we will be able to give this vaccination to one child. So now it becomes 2 children now. With this, we approached Melinda Gates Foundation. They said, if you are giving $2, we will give $2. So it became now 4 children. And again, we approached Gavi Foundation. Then they said, if you give $4, we will also give $4. Now it is 1. From 1, it has gone up to 8. We have committed to Gavi Foundation that we will contribute around $60 million for this measles and rubella vaccination program. We approached government of India in the year 2017. Modi has already become the prime minister at that time. Somehow they didn't want to take the medicines from us, from Gavi Foundation for us, or from Lions Club Internet. They said, we will have the medicines manufactured here in Pune. You give us money. If it is acceptable to you, then you give us. Then finally we agreed. We gave them $300 million to Government of India in 2017. $300 million. Today it costs around 2,500 crores of rupees, of which our contribution is $60 million. Lions contribution is $60 million. $60 million in terms of today around 500 crores of rupees. With this, Government of India has asked all the state governments, all the union territories to carry out this program, to administer this MR vaccination to all the children under the age of 12. So we gave injection vaccination to 10 crore children in India. 2017, 18 and 18, 19, we carried out 10 crore children in India were vaccinated with measles and rubella. This is only one part. Rubella means that is out of 10 crore children, 5 crore children were girls. Girls at the age of around 12. Once this rubella vaccination is given, the children born out of those girls who have been given this vaccination, they will not beget children with mental problem. They will not have mentally retarded children, they will not get. 5 crores girls, now all of them would have become now matured enough. They must be in the category of producing children now. Am I right? I mean, the age group of producing children now. In India, out of 140 crores, if you leave out the children and all, there will be only some 40 to 50 crores women. And in the age group of producing children will be in the age group of around 20 crores women. Out of these 20 crores women, we have given 25% of them have been given injections who will not produce any mentally retarded children. Just imagine what is the social impact we have created on the society in India. It has been carried out in Nepal, it has been carried out in Sri Lanka, it has been carried out in Pakistan, in many countries in Bangladesh, in many countries in Africa. We did this program everywhere. But unfortunately, our own line members may not be aware of this. What is the biggest impact we created in society in 2018? How many of us are aware of this program?
Absolutely, I think that is one of the major reasons why the incentives with regards to membership need to be talked about, and I think that's where the latest department comes in. We'll move on to the next department, that is the latest, in the Lions fraternity, which is the marketing department. Now, Sankar sir, very interestingly, I've been doing this show since last 4.5 years now. And I've had a lot of international directors come in, a lot of past district governors come in, a lot of great leaders who have come and talked on the show. They've spoken facts, they've spoken about how Lionism moved forward. But one common thing that I always hear about from people, especially in Lionism, who've joined the movement in the 80s and the 90s, they say that they used to feel like celebrities when they used to go to rural areas to serve people, because the name of Lionism used to be there already. People in the villages used to know a lot about Lionism, the amount of help that Lionism and Lions used to be providing to people. So there was a lot of affinity, there was a lot of love, there was a lot of respect towards Lionism and Lions in the 80s and 90s, and also in the early 2000s. According to your experience, what has been the major reason why in today's day and age we have had to take up the marketing vertical so seriously, to tell people that we are here to help? Why do you think the automated respect and love and reach that we had for such a long time, why do you think that has gone down a little bit? Your perspective on this, sir?
Our perspective is that now we are showing to the world two faces, particularly in India and Assam area. We are showing two faces. One is we are service oriented. The other one is we are all big people, rich people, meeting in 5-star hotels and enjoying the drinks, or it is more for entertainment. So when people have this kind of look at us, this kind of opinion about us, they will have definitely think twice about joining or understanding our way of working. So to remove this, we need a marketing. We have to keep on telling people. Of course, entertainment we definitely enjoy. It is at our own cost, not at the cost of the public. Service we are doing at our own cost for the benefit of the public. This we have to keep on telling them that for this we need marketing. Otherwise, probably it gives a wrong image to the public right now. Whatever the perspective is not so good because of this reason. Mostly our zone socials, our region meets, our other things, more of entertainment value now. So unless we change that concept, or even if you don't change it, at least we should also show the other aspect of our Lions movement, service activities. And if you can show a video film of 5 minutes, 10 minutes to all the people, what kind of service activity you are carrying out all over India, or in your own state, or in your own district, that will definitely change the 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 the, the opinion of the people. So that is what we need really.
100%. I think that's a very well spoken fact. I think it's extremely important for us to tell people how important it is to, to be a part of Lions, and what are the things that you can do being a Lion. Uh, Moving on, sir, you said a very interesting thing. You said that people have this perception that only rich people can join Lionism, and only people who are monetarily sound can join Lionism. Now, you've been an international director, you've traveled around constitutional areas, you've traveled to places which are lacking the infrastructure, they're lacking the monetary understandings, they're lacking a lot of things. And at the same time, you've also been to places which are developed countries, with great populations and fantastic amount of spending capabilities. In your individual understanding, how would you convince a Lion or a prospective member into understanding the fact that even if they are not fully monetarily sound, they can still join Lionism and contribute towards society?
It is very easy. I will tell you how. There are a few rich people. They are willing to contribute their funds, but they will not have time to come and spend much time in promoting a project or sitting there monitoring that how progressively it goes on. And all. They will not have time, and they may not have the mental inclination also to come and sit there, wait with the patients, wait with the poor people and all. They may not mingle with them at all. Here, they are looking for some people who are not so economically so well off, but still they are willing to give their time. They are prepared to take in. We have got one club, Lions Club of Anna Nagar in Chennai City. There are at least, they have got around some 90 or 100 members are there. Out of them, some 20-25 people are only government retired people, those who served in the government retired people. They are willing to spend their time, or those who are, they worked in the private sector but retired. Now they are willing to work here full time also. They will, without taking any remuneration. See what kind of project they have developed now. They have developed one diagnostic center. Way back some 25 years ago, they started with small machines. Today, they have purchased machines worth around some 40 crores. 40 crores they have. And they are giving treatment, medical investigate, they are doing it. For MRI scan, they will charge only 1/3 of what the others are charging in the market. You know the reason? All these machines have come out of donations. The place is our own district place. So they need to pay only for the consumables, only for the doctors and the paramedical staff what they have employed. So they are able to do it in 1/3 of the service. CT scan outside is 4,000, here it is 1,200 rupees. X-ray, everything. Every day you find, see, our children, when they are not well, we take them to the best of the hospitals. Whatever they prescribe, we go and take the examination, medical examination we do and come back, take the medicine, go. Just imagine the children who are living in slums, who are doing this, who earn only 10,000 rupees a month, their parents, where they can go and afford to get these facilities done. Every day I find in this diagnosis center, minimum 300 people sitting from 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Biggest service they are doing, it is only with this combination of the rich people as well as the not so rich people. One person is willing to give his time, other person is willing to give his money. See, this is how we should be able to cobweb the whole the atmosphere, whole membership structure should be like this. And we should not ill-treat those who are not so rich. We should not ill-treat them. We should give them more importance because they are the people who are really physically doing the work.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic perspective. It's a lot for a lot of clubs to learn also. I think, whoever actually ends up saying that, a lot of people don't want to join because of monetary understandings. I think if this sort of situation is also, something which is addressed by club presidents, and they can, for upcoming club presidents, and they can formulate their strategy accordingly, I think this problem can be very easily solved, and a lot more members can join in to the organization and serve really, really well. That's a great perspective once again, sir. Moving on to another great aspect of Lionism, which is leadership. It's something which is very, very integral to the organization. It's very important for the organization also to build uh, new leaders who can actually carry on the baton and carry on the organization further. Now, on this particular thing, my first question to you on leadership obviously is your perspective on the Lions Learning Center, the number of courses that we have, the amount of information that we have online, and also the Lions Leadership Institutes. Your perspective on how important they are, and your perspective also, do you think they have been marketed well enough for people to know about them in all these years they have existed? Your perspectives.
Yeah, my perspective is that we have to necessarily train up a lot of people to take up leadership because we are finding it very difficult to get leaders, to make them presidents in the club or make them secretaries in the club, to make them testers in the club. We are finding it extremely difficult. So the training is necessary and compulsory. It has to be done, number one. Once they cross this level of presidents, we also need persons to take up district chairperson's position or zone chairman position or region chairperson position. We need them. We have to train because it's only 1 year position, so we have to keep on moving to the other place. So we need to definitely have these training centers are important. The training facilities, whatever we do now, it is also equally important. But at the level of this FDI or at the level of ALLI or RLLI, once we train up some people, do we give them the opportunity to become leaders? Unfortunately, there we fail. We don't give them opportunities to take up leadership mantle. Those who have been trained up, finally they go out from the system telling that they don't get any opportunity here. Very unfortunate. We should make use of their services. We should make use of their caliber. We should make use of the way we train them up. That is where we are lacking, in my opinion. Unless if we come forward to do that, we will also have more leaders.
I think that's very interesting. I think that's a very interesting perspective. Just because you've been an international director, let me ask you this, and just because we are on a podcast and there can't be anything controversial about this, let me ask you this question, a little more candid, if I may be. So, when it comes to international director meetings and when it comes to Lions international meetings, when you guys meet up at Oak Brook, say for example, or anywhere where the board of directors meeting is going on, do you think there is a conscious look into the fact as to how many number of people are graduating as FDIs and what age group they fall under? Now, why I ask this question specifically to you, sir, is we see a lot of Lion leaders, mostly comprising of the age of, say, around 55 to 60, 60 to 65. And that is the bracket that we have in terms of all the leaders who, kind of like graduate as FDIs and stuff. And very recently we also identified the fact that till the age of 30, if the Leos don't convert into Lions, they technically don't have a leadership institute. So there's no concept of them even graduating from a leadership institute, which can also be a major incentive. Now my question to you, sir, is if this particular challenge is addressed, that we need to promote young leaders to graduate from these institutions so that they can kind of relay information even further on public platforms in their own constitutional areas, in their clubs, districts, and multiples. How should we do the identification? And secondly, is it already being done, or are we still going by the fact that, okay, if you've accomplished something of being a governor, of being something majorly big in the organization, only then you would get a chance to graduate from these institutes?
Not really. As you know, there is one emerging Lions Leadership Institute, ELLI. There, you need not even hold. If you are holding a position of president, then you are debarred from this. There, perhaps you should put the age bar also. Those who are less than 35 only should become this. They should become eligible for joining this course, ELLI. Thereafter, for RLI, we can put a cap, not more than 45 years, not more than 45 years. For ALLI, we can always put a cap, not more than 50 years. For FDI, we can always say not more than 50 years. Apart from their other qualifications, the age also should be there so that the young people will get an opportunity. Otherwise, they will not, when it's a big crowd to pick up from, you will not find them actually. So it is better you put a bar, age bar on at every level so that this competition is reduced so that young people will get more exposure. Only when you train young people, you will have better organization. I don't know whether I can say this. I'm only say this because of what I've seen all over the world. I mean, all big corporate companies are managed by chief executives who are less than 40 years of age. A vice president is only around 28 years or 30 years. There, they don't recruit anybody at the age of 55 to become vice president. They take only new people because new people will accept challenges. They are willing to accept challenges and do it. I mean, so like that, we should also here accept somewhere some age bar should be there. I mean, I do agree with you. Perhaps that way we will start reworking. This organization will start reworking if we put this age bar somewhere.
That's fantastic. I think I'm very, very happy to hear this from you, sir. A past international director yourself, I think it's extremely important for us to have this understanding. I myself actually asked you this particular question because I myself am going to be drafting an email and sending it to the international, asking the understanding for the same, because I believe it's extremely important that we don't only keep saying at public forums that youngsters are important and they are our future, and we don't do anything about it. I think it's extremely important for us to take action, and only then some changes are possible. Talking about youngsters, sir, I would love to have your perspective with regards to Leos. They are an extremely important part of our organization and, of course, our future also. So, a little bit of a word from you with regards to Leos, and also how have you seen them evolve over the last 4 decades of you being in the system, and where do you see them going in the next 10 years, sir?
No, I saw Leos in a very few clubs. See, if there are, I am just telling you, if we have around some 7,000 clubs in India, if I say it correctly, only 700 clubs will have Leo clubs. All the balance 6,300 clubs will not have Leo clubs. Our idea should be we should start Leo clubs. At least 50% of the Lions club should start Leo club. Their own children are there. Their own grandchildren are there. They should make them Leos and make them work. I mean, this used to be there earlier, but nowadays we have given it up. Number one. Number two, beyond 20 or 24 years of age, when they all become, I mean, really self-earning members, self-earning people, they may not like to be with their own fathers or grandfathers, uncles and granduncles. They would like to be away, at least free. So we should allow them to start a Lion Club of the teenagers, or at least in the age group of 25 and 30s. Then it will flourish. They will also prove their mettle at that time. But not allowing them to go out. See, when we children grow up, we allow them to set up separate family, isn't it, after marriage? So similarly, when somebody comes out of Leoism, when it becomes a lion, we must be able to allow them to start a club of their own. We should help them to make a club of their own. Then you will find more Leo members are becoming lion members. Nowadays, Leo member became a lion member is very rare. I mean, you would have seen very rare or less than 10% or 15%. In Chennai, earlier we used to have no Leos at all, not more than 200 or 300 in a district. But one line member, one district chairperson, he was able to bring in 5,000 Leos. 5,000 Leos. He used to go to institution after institution, colleges, make there everywhere 100 members, 200 members, 300 members in each college. And you know what he did, how to inspire them? What he did was, every district function or regional function or anything, he used to bring them, bring them from wherever they are. The college bus used to drop them. He used to spend some money to bring them, give them the food or whatever it is. So these young boys and girls were so much, I mean, inspired by his leadership. One district chairperson has changed the whole scenario. Again, he has gone now. Unfortunately, he passed away. Otherwise, he would have continued the same spirit with which he had done earlier. Now, from 5,000 members, it has come down to only 500 members now. So, one person can change the whole scenario. I think we should try that. I mean, that is the best way to improve the membership in Lions movement also.
Absolutely, very interesting perspective, sir. And I can obviously not finish off without asking you about one of the most important aspects of the organization, which is service. We obviously don't have too much time to talk about it in detail, but you having so much experience, I would love for you to tell me, if you could like to give our viewers an understanding of 2 to 3 massively impactful projects that you've seen, apart from the one you already mentioned to all our viewers. If there are 2 to 3 very close to your heart projects, something which you saw during your time, which had innovation and at the same time the ability to reach out to massive amount of audiences, if you could just like to quote some of them to our viewers, it'll be fantastic.
It will take some 2-3 minutes time, but I will explain to you in detail.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
You know this, in 2004, December, the entire southern India was affected by this, not just tsunami. You must have heard of this tsunami. No, earlier nobody heard about this word tsunami. Tsunami has affected Tamil Nadu, part of Kerala, and part of Andhra Pradesh. In one place, Nagapattinam itself, we lost 6,000 people on the beach. They have all gathered for a function there. All of them were gone. I mean, wiped off in one day, one night. So, Lions International LCF had granted us $2 million. $2 million today, it is working out some 17 crores of rupees. With this $2 million, what we had, I was appointed immediately after my governorship. I was appointed as the secretary of the Tsunami Rehabilitation Committee of MD 324. We have taken major service activities. We constructed 50 houses in near Vedaranyam, near Nagapattinam. Another 50 houses near Nagarkovil. Another 46 houses in Mahabalipuram. And another 100 houses near Nellore in Andhra Pradesh. And 750 small hut-like houses in Andhra Pradesh, that is near Vizag and Rajamandri districts. And like that, it was a massive project we did. Not only that, the most important aspect of it is we constructed a hostel for 127 children in Nagapattinam who lost both the parents. And it is at the recommendation of the district collector we have done this. And we met one Deepchand Gardi in Mumbai asking for some donation. He asked me, what is that you want to do specially? I said, I want to do this hostel for these 127 children. He said, I have got any record. Luckily, I have taken with me a certified copy of the collector, signed by the district collector, these 100 names of the 27 children who have lost their parents. I showed him, for these children only we would like to construct a hostel for them. He took out a check and wrote down a check for 1 crore rupees for this project. For this project, 1 crore rupees in one bus. Our Ashok Mehta was by our side at that time. He was the international first VP at the time. So he was there with us. He had only taken us to Deepchand Gardi, and one of the biggest barrister and philanthropists which I have come to know. He has donated 1 crore rupees on the day, one check he had given. And we have carried out all these projects. And there again in Nagapattinam, I saw one person had lost both the children. They were walking in the Nagapattinam beach. Both the children were washed away. And he had lost his wife also. Wife is not known. He does not know where she has gone. For 10 days he was searching for the body of his wife. He couldn't locate. Finally, after some 18 kilometers away, they located one body which was found to be his wife. And that man had started one home for the children, where, because he had lost both the children as well as his wife, he had started a home for the children who had lost both the parents, where 25 children he was taking care of them. He has become the foster father for 25 children. This inspiration had only taken us this hostel for 127 children. First 2-3 years, our district was running this program. Thereafter, we hand over this to the collector himself, district administration. Even today, it is running as Tamil Nadu government plus Lions Club project of the hospital in Nagapattinam, in main city, Nagapattinam. This, I would never forget this incident. I would never forget such a big calamity it has brought. And the Lions Club happened to be part of that program to bring some happiness to those people who have been affected by this tsunami disaster. Don't you think that you would be happy to know? I mean, we have released a book those days. We have released a souvenir. I mean, it was in our Lions International convention meeting. They put this one big, for 15 minutes. They have allowed us to show what all the projects we have carried out because of the tsunami effect. Sangeeta Jate was behind this in showing this picture in the international convention. I mean, this is what we have done. I mean, I'm really inspired by the way Lions International LCF has come forward to help us those days. Similarly, now I have become LCF area leader. I was a trustee and all. I would only appeal to all those people, all the line members, please come forward to contribute at least some 1,500 or 2,000 rupees. $17.2 they expect from all the line members from India. This is nothing. 1,500 rupees is nothing. For a table of coffee, you will be spending 1,500 rupees. Contribute this. This amount will go to unknown people who are affected by disasters, whose faces you would not have seen, but it definitely helps people who are affected by disasters like tsunami, now this wildfire in California, like that everywhere. I mean, wherever there is a disaster, Lions Club LCF is the first organization to go there to give some money. I mean, so I would appeal to all those land members who are seeing this program, please come forward to donate whatever minimum at least. Every year you keep on donating 1,500 rupees to LCF. This will keep, if in India we have around some 2,75,000 members. Just imagine 2,75,000 members into 1,500. How much money you would be able to save for LCIF? I would appeal to all of you, finally come forward, donate this small amount so that it will make it a big donation. Finally, it will go to the right people at the right time.
100%. Well, I think with that, this definitely, sir, marks as one of the most amazing episodes of Soul of Lions that we've had. I am so much in gratitude to you for taking time out today and coming and addressing us and telling us and all our viewers with regards to how Lionism is as an organization and how impactful we have been over the years. I, from the entire team of Soul of Lions, would like to thank you for your exceptional amount of time that you've given to us and the amount of knowledge that you've shared with us. I look forward to meeting you someday very soon and, also discussing whatever ahead projects can be done with regards to Lionism on a whole. Thank you so much once again, Shankar sir, for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mandeep. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the episode 231 of Soul of Lions. A big eye opener for me. Someone who came on the show, Lions Shankar sir, with 4 decades of experience with him of Lionism, and he still continues to evolve, innovate, and find ways in terms of how we can help the association, in turn help the society, and create a major impact in changing people's lives for the better. This is your host, Lion Navdeep Nigam, for episode number 231 of Soul of Lions. Until next week, good night and goodbye.